It's episode 515 of the Locked On Texas Rangers podcast. I'm your host, Brice Paterik. Joining me on the show today is Grant Schiller, longtime friend of the show, a prospect expert, a baseball expert in general. We're going to talk about some of the two major publications that released their top 10 Rangers prospect rankings, what we think about them. We also do a Christmas portion of the show where we ask Santa what we want from him for the Rangers for Christmas. All that and more coming up on this episode of Locked On Rangers. But first, thank you guys so much for making Locked On Rangers your first listen of the day. If you aren't already, go follow me on Twitter at Brice Paterik. Follow the show at Locked On Rangers. Follow Grant at OG Schiller. And subscribe on YouTube or wherever the heck you get your podcasts. Now, let's get into it.
You are Locked On Rangers, your daily Texas Rangers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On the Texas Rangers. It's episode 515. It's the week of Christmas. I am here with the prospect guru, longtime guest, I would say first-time, long-time listener, first-time caller, but he's not at all a first-time caller. He is a long-time guest, friend of the show, baseball and prospects and pitching and many other things expert, Grant Schiller. How are you doing, buddy?
You know, it's tough. Rafa Benitez has taken control at Everton, and he's driving out my favorite player. Baseball's in a lockout, and Christmas season's almost over. So it's tough for me right now, but we're powering through. We're here.
We're here, and it's the week of Christmas, and we've got plenty of content for you. There's some news. I talked a little bit about it yesterday about Baseball Prospectus's top 10 Rangers prospects that they released actually like 2 weeks ago today as we're recording this. But Baseball America also released their top 10 prospects, so I wanted to talk about these prospects with the prospect guru, Grant Schiller. We have the top 10 list of Baseball Prospectus in case you forgot what happened yesterday, and just as a refresher for Grant, the top 10 for BP is Jack Leiter, number 1, Josh Young, number 2, Justin Foscue, number 3, Cole Winn, number 4, Ezekiel Duran, number 5, Owen White at number 6, Josh Smith, or Josh H. Smith, depending on what you're looking at, is number 7, Glenn Otto at number 8, Aaron Zavala at number 9, and AJ Alexi at number 10. So, what stands out to you first about this top 10 by BP? I know we talked a little bit before, but Justin Foscue being above Cole Winn, I know I don't necessarily think of him as a better prospect, but did that surprise you as well?
Yeah, that stood out to me right away. That did surprise me because I look at Foscue and I see a guy who I'm not confident is going to stick at second. I see a guy who's swinging and missing more than expected. I just have questions on the profile. Like, I'm not saying he's bad. Like, he's a good hitter and he's got more pops than expected. But I have questions there, and I think Wynn is a pretty safe big leaguer and likely a number 3. To me, the top 3 in the farm system is pretty easy to nail down, and it's Leiter, Young, Wynn. So seeing Foscue at 3 there did surprise me. What else surprised me is Glenn Otto being a top 10 guy. I think the Rangers have, and it's still more depth and impact guys for sure, and that still is a problem. But they have a lot of interesting guys. And Otto, clearly they don't think Otto is just a reliever. They think he has a chance to start. I don't know that I agree with that. So I don't think I'd have him top 10 because I view him as a reliever. I also don't know that I'd have Zavala top 10 right now. I didn't love my look at him. Now, granted, it was not a great circumstance for him. He was rusty. He was coming off his health issue. So it wasn't necessarily the best time to see him, but I didn't love what I saw. So I don't know that I have either of those two top 10, and I definitely wouldn't have Foscue that high. What stands out to me in a positive way is that they really like Ezekiel Duran, who I have not seen, but I have hopes for, and Owen White being up there at number 6, because obviously he didn't throw much last year, but then he had the great Arizona Fall League, I guess is where he was.
Yep.
He had a really good showing out there and turned a lot of heads. So whoever was out there seeing him for BP clearly really liked what they saw, and that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely some exciting stuff. And a little different than I would have it, but Baseball America also released their top 10. They had the same top 3 that I think both of us agree on. In lighter, number 1, Josh Young, number 2, and Cole Winn, number 3. Number 4, they had Ezekiel Duran. Number 5 was a little surprising to me, Dustin Harris. I liked him. I didn't know that I liked him that much. Foscue is number 6. Owen White is number 7. Evan Carter at number 8. Josh H. Smith at number 9, and Luis Angel Acuna at number 10. Now this feels a little bit more accurate to me, and I think I would have Evan Carter in my top 10. I just feel so good about what he did. And BP brought up that he's had multiple back issues as a teenager, and that's why they were a little scared off. And like,
which
I
makes
get
sense.
that, but like still, I don't know. We were both just so impressed by his first professional showing, right?
Yeah, he's a top 10 guy for me. I agree with them having Luis Angel Acuna as a top 10 guy. It's interesting that they also are very high on Owen White. They had him at number 6, so even higher than BP. Or where do you say they had him?
Wait, who?
Owen White?
Owen White was, I believe, he was 6 for BP, and he is 7 for BA.
Okay, so 6 and 7. So they both really like him. Foscue at 6 is a spot that makes, or more aligns with what I think. I might have him even a couple spots lower than that, but it's more aligned with what I think. They like Duran a lot too. Dustin Harris at 5 is interesting. It tells me that they think he can play somewhere other than first base. And they're probably right on that. He's not a bad athlete. This next year will be pretty good ways towards determining where his position is going to end up being. Maybe he's a utility guy off four corners.
He played third, right?
He played a little bit of third. Okay. So I could see him playing third, left, right, or maybe he just has to stick at first, and that would really dampen the profile. But if they have him at 5, they clearly think he can do more than just first.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's interesting in both of those to me, and I fully agree with this, by the way, but I'm just surprised that they both did this, is that Sam Huff is not in there. I don't think he should be in there, but he has been ranked very highly pretty much across the board at these places, even through the midseason rankings last year. So it's interesting to me that he's totally off of both.
Yeah, I think he was a top 100 guy with BP during their last year's like beginning of the season stuff, which made sense at the time. But it was just such a rough year for him this year. It makes sense that he's left off. It sucks to see, but like he's got a lot of things to iron out, and the clock is kind of ticking on him, which feels wild that he just came up in 2020 and had a really good showing, and then everything went so far off the rails for him this year that there's a lot of stuff to rethink about him.
Now, I'm just throwing this at you without any time to prepare. But was there anybody not on those lists that surprised you?
Not really. Like they pretty much nailed everybody that was there that I thought would be there. The Dustin Harris one was a little surprising to me that he was up there. I'm not saying I disagree with it. I liked what I saw from him too. I don't know if I'm ready to go top 10 with him. But yeah, that kind of makes sense. Maximo Acosta is a guy, well, he didn't have a great year, so like it makes sense that he wasn't up there. But like, there's not really anybody there that I'm like, okay, this guy, they messed up not having him there. Yeah. I mean, of the top 10 guys at MLB.com, like, let's see, Maximo Acosta is the only one who's up there that's not on either of these lists, along with Sam Huff. So really, I feel like they did a pretty good job. They obviously have different opinions and different ways to evaluate players, but like, I feel like those are pretty solid lists in general. I had more questions about BP than I do BA's list, mainly the Glenn Otto. Alexi, I think, I don't know if I quite have him top 10. He's really borderline for me.
Yeah.
But because he had like some good outings at the major league level and did so well at AA this year, he still has like a ways to go. But he showed that like he has like the potential to handle it as a back end of the rotation guy, I think. And I am more a believer in him than I was last year or definitely 2 years ago. So I get them putting him top 10, and I totally get that. And I like Zavala, and I think I like him a little bit more than you just because I haven't seen him. And but yeah, the Glenn Otto one really threw me for a loop, and them having Foscue higher. But like none of these are like glaringly like, wow, this is so dumb. These publications know what they're talking about. Like these are two really great publications. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Major League stuff, the Christmas themed stuff. But first, I gotta talk to you guys about this week's sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Built Bar. This holiday season, grab the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar, or better yet, it tastes even better than a candy bar. Built Bar is filled with so much holiday goodness. It's rich with decadent flavor covered in chocolate, but amazingly low in calories, sugar, net carbs, and fat. But it's also high in protein. You get the best of both worlds. It is delicious and it's healthy. There's a bazillion different flavors, and Built Bar gives you the extra fuel that you need to bust down those mall doors, do some last minute shopping, battle all those holiday shoppers, or if you're just standing in endless shopping lines, Built Bar can give you that extra something to keep you going. Throw it in your jacket, your purse. You never know when you're gonna need it. Because it's the holiday season and the season of peace and love, don't bring up your favorite Built Bars around your family. Just don't do it. It's going to cause some fights. It's going to cause some rifts. Just have a whole bunch of them available for everybody so everyone can pick their favorites and not fight about it. And it'll make everyone happy and delightful and all that good stuff. If you're friends with Santa, tell them to throw a few Built Bars in your stockings and your kids' stockings and your friends' stockings and whoever's stockings that is going to be at your holiday get together and make anyone's Christmas morning a happy one. And if you like those marshmallow treats around the holidays, you need to get your hands on some of these Built Bar Puffs. They're light, fluffy, marshmallowy through and through, different flavors, all covered in chocolate. Tastes so good you won't believe they're filled with protein. If you want to go check them out, go to built.com. Use promo code LOCKED15. Get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. And now, back to my talk with Grant Schiller. So I am here with Grant Schiller, the OG, the prospect guru. We have talked about prospect, but now we're going on to the Christmas-themed, holiday-themed portion of this show. It's the week of Christmas, so we throw in some present requests from Santa. I'm wearing the Santa hat, but I am only doing it to channel my connection with Santa so he could hear these requests and grant these requests that we are giving to Santa. But we are asking for Santa for three things from the Rangers in 2022. Grant, since you are the guest, I will let you go first. And what are the three things that you're asking Santa for to give you from the Rangers in 2022?
In 2022, well, first and foremost, I want Seiya Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want either Luis Castillo or Tyler Mahle without having to give up any good prospects. I mean, so it's very realistic, clearly, my wishes.
Well, it's Santa. You can ask him for anything.
Right, okay. And third, I guess, would be a World Series win in that case.
Oh gosh, wow, that is bold. I didn't know about anything, but you know, I guess I did say anything.
I mean, he's Magic, is he not?
He is Magic, and I guess Santa is the only thing that could happen, make that happen. Besides, you know, hard work, diligence, and players playing good. But like, you know, we've had that for years and it didn't work out. So like, why not ask Santa to do it, or you know, the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy, or I don't know, the whatever October theme. There's no Halloween mascot. Maybe just the Charlie Brown's Great Pumpkin can grant that for the Rangers this coming October.
It might take all their powers together at this point.
They kind of Voltron that situation.
Right. I think that might be what it takes. So obviously the Rangers won it in 2011. But beyond that, there's just been no luck for this franchise.
Yeah, I mean they were so close. They had a better team, I think, in 2012, and didn't win. But
they didn't even win the division.
No, they didn't. They had this stupid wild card game, which is stupid and so stupid, and I hate it. It makes me angry. And they
Joe Saunders.
Oh God. Ugh. Even saying that name is just disgusting. But my three wishes for Santa Claus to bring me Rangers themed. They've already given me, like I said, all I want for Christmas is you with a picture of Corey Seager. I do want more. Like they granted that one, and that one felt really unrealistic at the time. But they did that. So let's see. First and foremost, I want Clayton Kershaw. I want him very badly. I don't care if it's unrealistic. I don't care if he's hurt. I just want Clayton Kershaw on my dang team. Like I just need it. All right. I'm like a small child asking for a Christmas present. Like I just want it. Okay. I just want it. All right. I just make it. Gimme him. Gimme Clayton Kershaw. But second, I want health for Corey Seager. That's what I really want. I want him to play at least 140 games. I want no one to throw baseballs at him and break his hand. I don't want him to randomly have Tommy John surgery. I don't want him to have hamstring issues. I just want him to be a safe and healthy boy. Put him in saran wrap when he's not playing if you have to. But, like, just protect Corey Seager. Don't let him get hurt.
Keep his handmates fully intact.
Yes, keep him and his teammates, but mainly specifically him, because he has had, people have been mean to him, like his elbow and whoever, some Marlins pitcher that hit him with a baseball that made him miss so much time this year. But third, I want Joey Gallo back.
Yeah.
I want him back. I want him back so that he can experience your wish coming true and winning a World Series. I want his first World Series win, even his first postseason win. He just had one postseason game with the stupid Yankees who had to go and screw it up and then blame it on him because he puts his uniform on differently. Stupid NewJersey.com columnist. No, I don't even know your name. I'm not going to learn it because you don't deserve me to know your name. You jerk person. You freaking Grinch. Hope you get coal in your stocking. And like, it's not the good kind of coal that you can use to like do stuff with. I hope it's like used up coal. So it's like double use.
Not even useful. Yeah. Okay.
And it also smells really bad because it's like, it's poop. But yeah, that's what I wish for that guy. But yeah, I want Kershaw, I want a healthy Corey Seager, and I want Joey Gallo. Those are the three things that I want most from Santa this year. I think of our 6 wishes, which do you think is the most likely to come true?
I think it would have to be Seager staying healthy, just from a percentage standpoint. You probably put like a 6 or 55% chance, let's say, that he plays 140 or more games.
Mm-hmm.
That might even be low. I think that's better than their chance of being one of 30 teams to sign these free agents or trade for Joey Gallo or win the World Series, which is obviously going to happen. Like, I just threw that out because that's such a lock.
Yeah, it's got to be a lock. But in case it isn't, then like, it's good to have some backup plans for other things that we could be happy about. It feels greedy asking for things at this point. It's like, I don't know, like say you had a
this team just lost 100 games. There's
fair.
No such thing as greed. Like, deserve everything.
They really do. Like, you spent $500 million, go spend another, like, I don't know, $250 million or whatever.
Spend another $500 million. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'd spend another $500 million on what's left.
Sure.
Like, I mean, like in the next year, go spend another $500 million on who's it going to be?
Joe Musgrove.
Yeah, go get a Joe Musgrove and make him apologize for throwing that no-hitter. It was very rude to me personally. I didn't appreciate it. I mean, good for him, but like, it was very rude to me personally, especially since I was on a Spotify Green Room Live. It was the first one I ever did, and I was with...
That's right.
I was with Javi of Locked On Padres, and he was rubbing it in my stinking face. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to do another one of these stupid things. And then I proceeded to do several more of those things. But yeah, those are some pretty good Christmas wishes, I think, that we've got. But when we come back, we're going to talk about Rangers as Christmas movies. Who would be what Christmas movies / what we think their energy kind of matches. All that and more coming up after this word from our sponsors. This episode is also brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this holiday season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. Yeah, ever before. As football continues its march to the playoffs and through college bowl season and pro football playoffs, there's all kinds of great football action going on, and BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the sports action this season. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today. Receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. You want to bet on some random holiday bowl or, nowhere state themed bowl, go for it at BetOnline. They've got basketball, football, NHL, boxing, UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. So don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers this season. BetOnline, where the game starts. And now, back to my talk with Grant Schiller. And I am here with the OG Grant Schiller talking about Rangers Christmas themed stuff. We just talked about what we wanted for Christmas from this Rangers team, which, we want a lot because they did not give us very much last year. And, that's okay because they're going to make all of our Christmas themed dreams come true. But we're talking about Christmas themed or holiday themed movies. If you want to throw in like a Hanukkah one or like, I don't know, a Kwanzaa themed one. I don't know of a Kwanzaa movie, but if there is one, I don't mean to be exclusive, but like, I feel like this season I only really watch Christmas movies. I can't even really think of a good Hanukkah movie, which I don't know if that's like, it feels a little bigoted of me to not think of a good Hanukkah movie. Maybe it's just like Hollywood doesn't have enough Hebrew people in it, so there's like not enough, Hebrew themed movies. Like maybe that's what we need. It was 8 Crazy Nights. That's the one. All right, I knew there was one, but I'm like, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. But we're going with 5 Rangers, and we are telling you definitively if they were a Christmas movie, what Christmas movie that would be. We're going to start with the best new Ranger, Corey Seager. Now, according to you, Grant, if he was a Christmas movie, what do you think he would be?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with happiest season.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. I'm going with that one because it's a good one and it's a new one, and he's a new good player. So my mind obviously thinks very deep to make these connections. So that's as far as it went for me.
Yeah. Gosh, happiest season feels right on the money, and I always think of the same like 5 Christmas movies because they're the only ones that I watch. I'd say Die Hard for him because
Not a
like,
Christmas movie, but okay.
it's a Christmas movie. This has been rehashed.
Look,
I'm not
look,
original.
there's a million movies that took place at Christmas. The Harry Potter movies aren't Christmas movies.
No, the Harry
They have
Potter ones
Christmas
aren't
scenes.
Christmas. Like Lethal Weapon, that's like Christmas movie. Like
It's a Wonderful Life isn't a Christmas movie while we're at it.
wow, this is some Scroogey takes. Actually, you know what?
Sorry.
You know what? No, I got to save this for another one because I can't. I'm just gonna go with yours. I'm agreeing with you, and I think you're
Okay.
right.
Okay.
You know what? I concede my take. But the next one is Marcus Semien, and you know what? I'm gonna take this because I have a really great one. This is the Muppets Christmas Carol, because
Ooh.
he is Michael Caine as Scrooge, not because he's Scrooge-like, but because he is as serious as a heart attack. Like it is, you know, there's that famous prompt or whatever. I don't know if it's famous on like Twitter or whatever. Like if you could change any movie to like everybody's Muppets except for one person, and like the answer is always Christmas Carol with him, because it's like, all right, you know, Michael Caine, just like have fun with it. It's not a very serious movie. He's like, I'm gonna play this as serious as a heart attack, and he is perfect in it. And you know, he's kind of surrounded by a little bit of Muppets in this remaining cast and crew of what's left of this 100 Lost Rangers team. And he does have obviously the great Gonzo, who I think is Corey Seager, because he's a little goofy, and I love both of them. And you know, blue, and Corey Seager wore blue with the Dodgers, so and performed very well, just like Gonzo in this Muppet Christmas Carol. But I feel like that's a good one. Do you have one that stands out to you?
Yeah. Some with a similar theme, I guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Bad Santa, because he never stops working, so he's still working through the holiday season. Now he's a better worker than Bad Santa was. Like obviously he was not a very dedicated guy, but just in the sense that he is working in general. If you can call what Bad Santa did working. He's doing that through the holiday season because he grinds. I am certain that every morning he gets up and he may not hit send, but he types out "Rise and Grind" into his Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Then he deletes it because he's too busy grinding to tweet.
Right, exactly.
I respect it. John Gray. This one's a little hard to pin down. I've got one that feels a little on the nose. If you have one, then feel free to go first. But I feel like one that's pretty obvious. And just kidding. It's well thought out. It's very elegant. And
Okay.
The Grinch. Because John Gray has been with the Rockies, and the Rockies are mountains, and Denver is also in the mountains. So he lived in the mountains. You know who else lived on the mountains? The Grinch.
The Grinch, I'm gonna guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I don't know if he has a good dog, but like I'm assuming he does. And maybe he drives a sleigh, and his heart has grown several sizes because he doesn't have to play for the Rockies anymore. Like, and he's getting a lot of gifts. I don't know. That felt about as on point as my movie comp can be. Do you have one that stands out better than the Grinch, or?
Well, yours is definitely better there. But I'm gonna throw out Holiday. If you remember that one, I don't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago. It was an Emma Roberts movie. It was like your basic holiday rom-com, nothing special, just kind of a solid movie. So that's kind of what he is as a pitcher. He's a solid pitcher. He's going to go out there. He's going to eat some innings, just like Holiday ate up 2 hours of my evening. And he'll be pleasant to watch, just like Holiday was pleasant to watch. So, yeah, he's Holiday.
That's solid. Next on this list, we have Adolis Garcia. Now,
Oh, can I go first here?
Go first. Go first.
He's Fat Man.
He's
'Cause
Fat Man?
Now, do you remember what Fat Man is?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Seems a little body shaming, but
Well, no, it's off of Santa. It's off of Santa.
Okay, well, Santa's the Fat Man, not a Dulles. We're not body shaming here, Dulles, because you are literally the opposite of a fat man.
Unless it's with a PH.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that just means cool.
I think so too, and he is very cool.
So Fat Man was a movie that came out last year in which Santa was basically like a contract killer. Or like he was an ex-Navy guy or something, and a contract killer came after him. Walton Goggins is a contract killer.
Mm-hmm.
So there was lots of fighting, lots of gunfire. And Adolis Garcia is Fat Man because he's very explosive.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. You keep picking these ones that I like. I think I have like 5 in my mind. I'm like, all right, well, these are like the only 5 Christmas movies I know, so I got to make them work for whoever I know. But for me, he's Elf.
Okay.
Because he is, he spent all that time in the North Pole, so the miners, and wasn't realizing his actual talent. And, he comes to New York City. He is a grown-up, and he, does grown-up things and, saves the day because of all the skills he learned that he needed to do before he was ready to come up and make a difference in New York. And that's what he needed before he could come up and make a difference in the big leagues with the Rangers. And also, I love both of them very much.
I also love both of them very much.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. Also, Elf is very tall, and I think Adolis is tall. I don't know. I've already listed like 3 things, so that feels like enough reasons. But the last one, Jose Trevino.
Mm-hmm. I would go with Christmas Vacation, because that to me is the prototypical throwback Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is off topic. It is my favorite Christmas movie.
Ooh,
but
so.
Jose Trevino is Christmas Vacation because he is also a throwback type of player, and that he's a really a glove only, leadership first catcher.
Yeah, and he's also beloved by many, and sometimes underappreciated by those who don't understand what kind of value the movie and he both bring to the world in general. And I like that, and I respect it.
And I think he treats people a little bit better than Chevy Chase did. But
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
He also Jose Trevino didn't get kicked off of Community or quit Community because he couldn't get along with the most delightful group of people. That's a subject for a different podcast. If I had a podcast just about Community, which
you could if you wanted to. I mean,
I could.
You could talk about it for a while.
I could talk about Community about as long as I could talk about the Texas Rangers baseball team. But mine for him is Home Alone, because he is at home plate. He is a catcher, and
okay, I see.
He is good at defending his plate, and he is also a classic, beloved by all, and does good work around Christmas time, giving toys to kids, and also defending his home from the wet or sticky bandits, whatever they are, depending on which movie you're watching. But yeah,
have you seen the new one?
Regrettably, I have.
Oh, is it bad?
It's not good.
Okay.
It is so bad that you end up rooting against both the kid and the intruders.
Isn't there a big name actor that's one of the intruders?
I can't. Oh, it's the Kimmy Schmidt girl is one of the intruders.
Oh, really?
Aaron from The Office.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know.
Not good. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I would not recommend. Just watch 1 and 2, and it's worth the nostalgia. I literally just watched Home Alone 1. Like right before I came over here, I was making cookies and watching Home Alone 1. So it was kind of on my mind. I'm like, I got to find one of these guys. And Home Alone, home plate, catcher, boom, slam dunk.
Easy, yeah.
Easy, breezy, beautiful Texas Rangers baseball. Well, I think that's about all the Christmas themed things that I have. Unless you have some other one that we didn't get to that was it just felt like you just have it on your heart you want to share with the class.
Well, what I'd really like is if there's any new Christmas movies this year that people liked. I could use recommendations because I haven't kept up with any of them. I know I need to go see 8-Bit Christmas, I think, is the one on HBO. Haven't watched that yet, but I haven't heard of any others.
I haven't seen any new ones that are like worthwhile. I watched the Home Alone one, which was not great. I don't know. It's kind of just like it's on the level of like Hallmark Christmas. It's like, all right, I kind of get what this is. Like they did something like a little different with it, but like it's not that. It's just kind of weird. And I'm like, I don't really love what you're doing here. Also, this kid is a total tool. Kevin McAllister was like a badass, and like you rooted for him, and his family was all terrible. This kid is like, no, his family's pretty fine. He's just kind of a little a-hole. So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to watch, I'm not gonna stop you physically.
No, I'm out.
But I'm not gonna encourage you to do so. But yeah, it is a good season. The Rangers already did their Christmas shopping early, just like me. I actually got all my Christmas shopping done already, which is like career high early date for getting Christmas presents for me by far. So I'm very proud of myself for shopping early like the Rangers. I didn't spend $500 million, but like, you know, close, maybe like $250 million on Christmas presents. So you people who I got you some, like, you better appreciate them because, you know, I had to borrow a little bit of money from Bob and Ray to do it. But thank you so much for joining me.
Hold on.
Oh, do you have something else on your heart?
Well, we gotta do the Random Ranger.
Oh my God, what am I thinking? I am losing my mind. The Rangers start getting not terrible, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to know about these random Rangers. Oh my goodness, I even had one for this time, and I've already forgotten who it is. So I'm gonna let you go first while I pull my head out of my own butt and remember who the heck this random Ranger is.
I'm gonna go with D'Angelo Jimenez. Now he was a long-time big leaguer, utility infielder. He debuted in '99 with the Yankees. He finished his career in '07 with the Nationals. I think he's best known for his time with the Reds. He had probably his best season there as a regular, actually. But as a Ranger, he played 20 games, had 68 plate appearances, had a .644 OPS, all of one home run. Actually walked more than he struck out. This was in 2006. He played 20 games. He's got some personal memories for me. Because back in those days, I would go up to spring training and I would get the autograph, or the goal at least was to get the autograph of every single player who had a big league invite. And for some reason, like, he would just not stick in my head. So there were 3 separate occasions where I went and got his autograph, and as I was doing it, I asked him who he was. He just did not stick. I did not recognize him. So 3 different times, and by the 3rd time, he was like, "Dude,
bro,
you know me.
Come on, man. What are you doing?" But my random Ranger is he's on 2 fronts. He is on actually no, he wasn't on the team that I thought he was. But anyway, he was on 2 different Rangers teams and spent 3 seasons in the big leagues, 77 games. 2 of those were with the Rangers in 2015 and 16. He is an outfielder. He has spent time in the Korean League and he came back for 2 games, 3 plate appearances this year with Toronto. That is right. The great Jared Hoying.
He came back?
He came back. 2 games, 3 plate appearances, 0 for 3, 1 strikeout. Negative 100 OPS. Did not play very long.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, 2016 and 17, I should say. 38 games in 2016, 37 in 2017 with the Rangers. He had a .220 batting average, a .262 on base, a .228 slugging percentage. That is a .550 OPS for those of you doing your math at home. He did have a home run at the big league level, was 4 for 4 in stolen bases without getting caught stealing, and had 5 doubles in 74 games, 126 plate appearances. So, yeah, did not do super well in the KBO. Had 1 really great year and then not so great year. But
he had the 30 home run season, I think, for Hanwha.
That was it. I thought he was playing with my KBO team. Yeah, he played with Hanwha from 2018, 19, and 20. 2020 was not great for him. He had actually 2 great seasons in Hanwha. 30 home runs in 2018, his first season there. A 942 OPS, then just an 800, then a 576 OPS in 2020. Things really did not go well for him there. But yeah, things went a little bit better for him this year. Did okay in the KBO. Spent some time in AAA. Then played 2 games for Toronto. And didn't do anything there. So wish him the best of luck. A very random Ranger to finish off this one. Well, I think we'll have one episode together next week, depending on our schedules.
Mm-hmm.
But it's possible that was the last random Ranger of the year, and
be a good one.
That's a solid one. One that was just around long enough to be like, oh, he was actually here for a little bit. 77 games is or 75 games is not nothing. This guy spent a good chunk of change with the Rangers. But for those of you who are still here and listening about me babble about Jarrett Hoying for like 3 minutes, God bless you. And I hope you have a very happy holiday. If you're not already, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Brice Paterik. Follow Grant Schiller at OG Shill. Follow the show at Locked On Rangers. And subscribe wherever the heck you get your podcast, or specifically on YouTube, because that really helps me out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Grant, for coming on. And I hope all of you have a very happy holiday season. And until next time, don't forget to enjoy baseball.